Crossing into Burj al-Barajni Palestinian refugee camp, giants of the Palestinian cause watch over you. Some say that 20,000 people live here in less than 2 square kilometers. That would make it as dense as Gaza City. The similarities between the two places are hard to miss. Makeshift blockhouses, narrow streets, UN facilities providing aid. Every street here is strung with this mass of wires and water pipes. They were actually built by the residents themselves with the help of aid organizations. That's because this camp isn't serviced or inspected by Lebanese authorities. It's kind of a world apart, a little Palestine, where residents are basically sitting and waiting to go back to their original homelands. Deep inside the maze of streets, we meet an elderly woman who was born in Tarshiya in present-day Israel, but was forced to flee in 1948 when she was just 2 years old. She's lived her whole life as a refugee. In recent weeks, she's done little but watch the news and grieve.
I've been watching from the first day. Of course I have. It's my family and my friends. Of course I've been watching, my dear. May Mohammed protect all of the people of Gaza. And with the help of Mohammed, we'll all return to our country.
The militant group Hamas has never had much of a foothold here in Burj al-Barajni, but its name has appeared scribbled on walls in recent weeks. Some people celebrated Hamas terror attacks on October 7th in these streets. Now they're furious at the Israeli response. Imad was born here. He got a degree in business management in Beirut, but because he's a refugee, he's barred from most jobs outside the camp. So he sells flavored ice from a motorbike.
I do feel a very strong connection with Gaza. I feel like one of them. When I see a building collapsing or a child dying, I get goosebumps and I feel anxious and angry about it. So if a war starts in Lebanon, I would join the resistance to defend Palestine. My family and my kids are not better than the ones dying in Gaza.
I ask him if he condones Hamas's killing of over 1,000 Israeli civilians in October. He denies without evidence that they were the targets of the attacks. There's an increase in violent anti-Israel sentiment here as the news of civilian deaths in Gaza plays on TVs across the camp. But at the same time, there's a growing fear of what might happen if Hamas and its allies were to draw Israel into a wider war.
The Palestinian guys, if you see here in the camp, like my brother or my men cousins, they are able to have a gun and go to the borders to kill the Israeli, and this is our land and we want it back.
Do you think that it's wise to not provoke Israel so that Lebanon stays out of the war?
As you see, the building in the camp, they are not well maintained. They are not, so it's one bomb, they will let the camp fall down. So I will die. So for sure, I don't want war, and I think no one in Lebanon wants war, and we don't also want peace with Israel. So that's it.
Dreading war, unwilling to accept peace. It's a contradiction that runs through this camp.